All right, we're ready to discuss the second semifinal. The jury of five, our panel, came together. Actually, we did that individually, and then I combined the result, and we have the 10 songs that we believe will go through. Let's go for them one by one, and I always have to put the disclaimer out there. It's not our taste that makes it tough. It's really predictions, because that would look very different. I think everyone is nodding, is agreeing to that. But let's just jump right into this. So, we're going for them one by one. Let's go for the ones that we all believe will go through. Like the five of us unanimously said this is sure qualifiers. The first one on the list, don't think comes as a surprise, is Sweden.
Hold me closer, although you leave before the sunrise. I'll be bleeding.
And all of us think this one is a qualifier. Arno, your thoughts?
I really think this could be the winner of the second semi-final, because normally, like, Sweden always does good with the jury, but especially with this song, and we have a woman for it has been such a while since we haven't had like a solo female artist representing Sweden in Eurovision, and I'm happy about it. But also, she could have, like, the song they could improve the staging, and I think this will be a moment, and her running order is just very good, like before last and after some couple songs that have a different vibe than Sweden. I really think this could be the star of the second semi-final.
Oh no, the other side. Well, 2-over. Roy, you agree?
Yeah. I definitely think it will be a battle between Sweden and another country that will probably come up later for the win. In the semi-final, even though I'm not necessarily the biggest fan myself of the song, I mean, I have to agree that this will probably go through. For me, the voice is a bit too like hazy, a bit too raspy, and the chorus is maybe a little bit, I don't know, I wanted a bit more instrumentals, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. She's gonna be very professional about it, like she was in the Melody Festival and performance. Like, you just see that is a really good performer. She sang a song very, very well. People are going to vote for it. Juries are going to vote for it. It's going to sail through. It's as easy as that, really.
Then the second country we believe will go through, all of us said yes. And Sebastian, I want you to start smiling. It's Poland.
Bury all of my things, bury me in my skin, all that I've done.
But Roy, is that the other country you were just referring to?
Exactly. I actually think that Poland might win this semi-final. I know not a lot of people might agree with it, but he's just got this sort of odd, quirky charisma that he's just singing this song in his own little world, and it's just going to be very smooth. It's going to be very crisp staging-wise. It's a very catchy song. Like, it'll be stuck in your head for the entire day if you don't be careful. It's a very fun song, and it took me a bit to get used to it. But I think a lot of people will vote for this. Juries and televote, it both has the appeal. And it's just going to be a battle between Sweden and Poland. I think it's going to be close. But yeah, easy through.
And James, you have it as a qualifier as well, huh?
Yes, though I don't have it as my number one or two. Personally, I think Cornelia will connect with a lot more people, but not that much more, I think. And I think they connect sort of in a similar way. There's a lot of emotional resonance with these two very charismatic singers. We had the Polish fellow whose name I can't remember because even though I'm looking
here.
Ochman, very charismatic fellow. He grips you just by his lonesome for 3 minutes. So I agree, it's an easy qualifier.
Okay, so those two, I'm sure a lot of you all watching are not surprised by. The next country on our list that got unanimous support is the closing song, Czech Republic.
Where are you now when I missed you? You're sailing around in my peripheral.
We are Domi, no disagreement there. And I personally I'm not surprised. I have this as a likely, I think it's going to do a whole lot better than a lot of people will think. I have a potential top 3 in the semis. I think that could go really far. It's perfectly positioned going last. It has the right energy for going last, and it has a very specific and unique vibe that people will just hold on to it. And they don't have to hold on to it for too long because, the show will end after them. So I just think it's just a sound that is accessible to a lot of people. So I just see Czech Republic going through fairly easily here as well. Okay, Sebastian, you agree?
I can fully agree. This is my favorite upbeat song of this year. And if something not weird happening with the staging, I see a total qualifier. Especially that this song have very cool appeal of people who want to dance, who want to have a joy, but also from the standpoint of jury, I believe this is also a pleaser, because the song have everything well prepared, well connected parts of the song with each other. And I hopefully vocally it's gonna be also very good, especially that we saw on these performances in the pre-tour that she can do it. So I really hope that Czech Republic will qualify to the final.
All right, there you have it. 3 down. We got a few more here, of course. The fourth country on our list, the fourth qualifier where we all say yes, is from the last song of the night to the first song of the evening, Finland. But not a surprise, probably, James?
No. I think this tugs at the nostalgia a bit, particularly for women in their 30s. I actually thought that, like Bulgaria, this might not work out, but considering their UMK results, I changed my mind. I actually, for some reason, this one is connecting with not just your Aunt Linda, but also with the younger crowd too.
Arno, dying to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that we all think it's gonna go through because, well, they're famous. We have that nostalgia of In the Shadow, which was like, I was before high school when it came out, when it was out, and I don't know where you were, but it brought back so many memories, and the performance of Jezebel is also very good quality, and they have the stuff to go to the final. Yeah, I think, and it's just quality, nostalgia, rock, and it's dynamic. I think what Finland did is what Bulgaria wanted to do, but didn't do as good as Finland.
That's an interesting observation. I really like that. Then the fifth country on our list that and the final one where we all agree, then it gets very interesting. The fifth one is Australia.
Not the same, no.
Not qualifying for the first time last year. According to us, this won't be an issue in 22. Arno, back to you.
Yeah, I think last year they didn't qualify because they tried something different. They tried a non-conventional pop, like Australian pop song that works with the jury. And last year they tried something different, but they didn't have the payback. But this year they are back on doing what Australia did in Eurovision, which is a very polished song, a power ballad sung beautifully. He has an incredible voice, and I think the juries, this could be like a top 3 jury in the semifinal if they have a good staging too. But vocally and emotionally, the performance is like very accurate.
Okay, interesting. Now, Sebastian, you also have it as a qualifier. Where do you think it's going to fall based on your feelings right now?
I can much more agree with Arno. So I can see this as a very jury pleaser, because with Sheldon's voice, with the quality which he brings to the stage, it can be very, very powerful entry in case of the semi-final. I'm not really sure how it's gonna work with the fans. I believe this is gonna be enough to advance, but maybe not that high as much of people thinking they're gonna be, because we know that this song make huge hype in case of pre-selection format and as a winning of it. But still, I believe with this whole staging, with this dramatic feeling of it, with how he looks and how he stole the show with his emotions, it can be a very powerful one and easily will make a better result than last year for Australia.
All right, there you have it. Those are the 5 countries where we all agree that they will go through. And let's start fighting now over the rest, because there seems to be some discrepancy, some more than others. I know, bring out the axes. Now, the first one on the list in our 6th qualifier, 4 of us said yes, 1 of us said no. That one is Estonia.
I said, hey, sing your heart out, boy, for all the people great and small.
Estonia gets 4 yeses and 1 no. Let's talk to the yeses first. Sebastian, your thoughts?
For me personally, this is one of the best Estonian entries in years. I believe they are also still trying to find something good in pop. They are going with the ballads, we are going with up-tempo songs, and they are trying to find their path. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. But I believe this song with this country vibe, very Western feeling of it, and with very good live performance, because I believe Stefan doing very well with the vocal, and I believe it's whole staging with very, maybe a little bit quirky, maybe it's funny for some people, but with this feeling of nostalgia for these movies, for the cinematic feeling, it can work as miracles for Estonia. And just cement their place in the final, hopefully. Because even if he sing I hope for 100 times, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me sad. It doesn't make me a headache. I believe this is a pretty good, catchy, warm song which can stay on your head and doing very well.
James, you don't think it'll make it?
Again, before you decide to mail me cat feces, I think that this is going to be a marginal non-qualifier, mostly because it's, again, another Scandi pop song with Western flourishes, and we've heard that at Eurovision before, and I don't know, do people still have the appetite for it? Now, I don't think it's going to be a barnstormer and get in the top half of the qualifiers.
There you have it. That's why we have a panel, because the rest of us overruled James on this one. According to our predictions, Estonia is through. Also through, according to 4 of us, and 1 rebel that said no, is Cyprus. Cyprus got 4 yeses, and I think based on the facial expressions, you can tell who's a no vote. But I was one of the one that says yes on Cyprus. I do, though, I'm not super confident. I do think, though, it'll be enough. And it is a riskier choice than from what Cyprus has sent in the past. And for that alone, I want to applaud them. It's a Greek song. It's at a pace. It's very mid-tempo-y. It's a very, not melodic, going all over the places. But I find it a very genuine song, and I think there is a place for it. I'm worried a little bit about the juries on this one. That's my biggest concern, but I do think it'll be in the televote top 10. The question is, are the juries going to drown it, or are they going to support enough for it to go through? I'm a little bit nervous, but I do think it'll make it. And the person that says no, speak up or be forever silent.
It's me. Yeah, this song is very streamable. It is very enjoyable to listen to. But I just think it will just fade away in a group of songs. And I just cannot picture this sounding outstanding enough on a Eurovision stage. It will be her vocals on the studio cut aren't very out there at all. So it'll be and that will be basically the line.
Your face was make me laugh. Sorry. You're
oh, I'm sorry. I enjoy the song, but it'll just be very linear in a way, and I feel like it will just not be enough to capture the jury and the televote. So I don't have it through.
All right, that is fair enough. But on this one, Roy, you were overruled. The rest of us said yes, so Cyprus is through. Exactly. And the 8th song on our list, according to our predictions, will go through. Once again, 4 said yes, 1 said no. Serbia. Serbia, according to our predictions, will go through, and one of the yeses are no. Right?
Yes. I think it's gonna qualify, and I compare it to Norway, because not musically, because it's totally different, but Norway is eye-popping and iconic and stands out, and I think Serbia has the same feel in the semi-final. And just the message itself, we've never seen that in Eurovision. Just the Biti Zdrava moments and the choreo, which is very simple, just that. I think people are gonna be like, wait, like exactly like Norway. They're gonna be like, this is done, but they'll be like, but I'm intrigued. And by the end, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna remember that.
Okay. Well, the person that said no to qualification is... That's me. I know. Listen. This needs to go through based on my personal taste. I think this is so fun and so different, and it deserves a spot. But I'm worried that this is like a perfect storm, just the opposite of it. Basically, in terms of it has the terrible running order that stood out to me. Number one, I'm really, really worried that this will lose in translation. I know they will change some of the staging. So this could easily get lost by the aperture. It's very popular within the bubble, but outside the bubble, I just don't think people can access it as much. And number three is, I look at this very clinically often as well, based on prior history, who has voted for whom. And Serbia has very little traditional support in the semi because they don't have much support. They have North Macedonia, they have Montenegro, but a lot of the traditional supporters aren't there. So I don't think they can expect a head start there either. So I think it just really lined up badly for them. And that is why I said it's not going to happen. I was overruled. How dare you people? But that is okay. So according to us, Serbia, the 8th qualifier. Now, it's getting really interesting. We got 2 left, our 9th qualifier, and now we only have 3 of us saying yes. And so it's got a little trick here. And the 9th qualifier on our list is Belgium.
I'm gonna miss you now. Promise I won't miss you now.
Belgium is through, if we can believe our predictions. Sebastian, one of the individual who is actually probably surprised to see it this low, right? Because you had it as a pretty sure qualifier.
Yes, I do. I believe this 2000s pop music vibe to it, with a very gospel start and surrendering to the chorus, which is very vibey, very catchy, very similar to many songs that we had before. So I believe he can sing, he can dance, and with taking in a consideration that Belgium not doing very well always with the stagings, hopefully this year it's gonna be a different story and can make it this video clip a little bit transit to the stage and give a Belgium proper grand final, especially that they have it last year.
Very interesting. And then it's just as an FYI, the 2 individuals that said no were Roy and Arnaud. And eeny, miny, mo. Roy, why did you say no?
Look, I get what they were going for with this song. I just think that they didn't just full on nailed it, I guess. People would be like, oh, that was quite fun. That was quite cool. And then once they get to voting, then they just don't pick up the telephone to vote for it. And I can see it do a little bit better with the juries, but the issue with that is that you already have a Poland that will do well with the juries, a Sweden that will do well with the juries, you'll have Australia that will do well with the juries. You have a lot of songs that will already do well with the juries, and there can only be that many.
Well, Roy and Arnaud, you've been overruled because the rest of us said yes, and it was enough to get it through. That means we only have 1 left, our borderline qualifier. And just real quick, there are 3 songs now that received 2 yeses and 3 no's. So we had to apply a tiebreaker. And so, but we'll talk about the other 2 as well that didn't make it. But the 10th song on our list that will make it through, San Marino. The tiny nation, San Marino, according to our predictions. And I think San Marino has to thank Roy for it. Roy, you think it's going to go through?
You have Achille Lauro, who is already, when you look at him, the way he performs all of his songs, the way he just stands on the stage in general, all his mannerisms, you'll be like, whoa, what is this? You'll be intrigued by that already. And then this song, the way he sings it, it's just very laid back, very like he doesn't really care. And I know that you need to like that. but I think it fits so well with the vibe of the song. It's just very much rocking out to it, and I don't know. It's just the thing that holds me back is that it is San Marino, so it doesn't necessarily have the biggest like following that usually vote for it, and it's like the little small nation that really never could.
Okay, James actually agreed with you. He was the other person saying it went through, while Sebastian Arnaud and I said no. And it was tough for me because, again, put your own personal feelings aside for a song, because that song itself is not my cup of tea. And I don't want to compare it to Italy last year, but it has a little bit more, it's reminiscent to at least a little bit to it. And so I thought it's going to be more popular with people. People like that kind of music, but it hasn't received as much hype as some of the other songs in that genre. So maybe it doesn't click as much, which then made me lean towards no. It wouldn't be a sehr hard shocker for me if this were to qualify. But as of right now, I have it as a no. And the interesting part is, even though we only had those two, Sebastian, Arnaud, and I, we were overruled by the minority. Roy and James, you got it your way, and Roy, as the tiebreaker, putting it a little higher apparently in his predictions, got it through. That means those are our top 10 predictions. Sweden, Poland, Czech Republic, Finland, Australia, Estonia, Cyprus, Serbia, Belgium, and San Marino. Let's talk about the other songs that didn't make it real quick. And the country that just missed out, thanks to Roy, so all the complaints please send to him. But in 11th place, just missing out, borderline non-qualifier, is Romania. So Romania did not make the cut for the same reason I mentioned. 2 said yes, 3 said no, so I'm going to go right to you, Roy. Actually, if you think about it, wasn't your fault because you also said Romania will go through, huh?
Yeah, I was like, wait, I had it as a qualifier.
Yeah, so
right?
actually it is your fault, but you kind of shot yourself in the foot. That kind of situation.
I mean, I can totally see why people say it as a non-qualifier, and I had it on that position for a very long time as well. But I don't know, this is the type of song that Romania can really deliver well, I feel, and it can be staged very nicely. I think he has quite the natural charisma as well to let people gravitate towards him. It's just a bit of an earworm, really. Like, at a random time of the day, I'll be studying for my exam, for example, and I go like, yamame, hola mi bebe, and like, it's the other way around, but whatever. It's going to be an earworm, and people will just remember it at the end, and I think that ultimately will be the reason why it just squeaks through.
Okay, and Arnaud is with you on the same page, actually, but in this case, the two of you were overruled because the rest of us said no, and James being one of them. So you don't see it happening?
I'm actually surprised until I heard that Roy voted for it, and then I was like, oh well. I actually thought this. I actually think this one is like Bulgaria, going to be like a sort of disaster piece, and I compare it to, I don't know if you've watched the American Song Contest and you saw Christian Bagan's Loco. That blows. Puerto Rico's Loco blows Romania's out the water, but I don't know. I think a lot of people just think that Romania's entry is corny, and it's like, no, this silly piffle is going to be marooned.
Oh dear, so harsh words from James, but we're here to tell the truth, I guess. Also, then the next country on our list that got 2 yeses, 3 no's, but in the tiebreaker-wise didn't make it further. The second non-qualifier on our list is Azerbaijan. And Sebastian, you were one of the individuals saying Azerbaijan will not go through.
And I really sad about it, because after 2 years of very catchy and popular song from Azerbaijan, which are not too clever and not too innovative in case of pop music, they bring something more delightful, some more sophisticated and creative from me. Some of people heard in a little bit of Sound of Silence from Damim. Maybe this is true. Some way, somehow, this song for me have very good vocals, very good punchlines. It's flowing from very interesting parts to next interesting parts. So I believe Azerbaijan done very good homework in case of choosing this song. But still, I'm not pretty sure with that songs like Poland, for example, which are powerful ballads, and with lots of upbeat songs, if this Azerbaijan can stand out. So
that's a fair, yeah, and just so you know, Roy and I were the ones that happened both as borderline qualifiers, basically. And I put it as a borderline qualifier for multiple reasons. Number one, Azerbaijan almost always squeezes through, and every year we kind of don't think it's going to happen. Think of last year, right? Most people didn't think it was going to make it, and there she was in 20. What is it gonna miracle? The song 2018, right? We have this like we always think they're not going to make it, and here they are. And even the year that they didn't qualify, where they still came in 11th place, and it was the semi of death anyway, because it was one of the toughest semis ever. So they're always a threat. They'll always have somehow music that seems safe and popular enough to make it through, and then kind of gets lost a little bit in the shuffle in the finals. And I feel as they could do a repeat in 22 with this song as well. But in the end, the two of us were overruled based on the tiebreaker of Azerbaijan not going through if we believe our predictions. Then moving on to a few songs here where we had only one supporter and the rest said no. First up on the list is Ireland. That would be interesting. Let's talk to Arnaud first, who says no. Ireland is not going through.
It pains me to see it not qualifying. Well, I think it has more chances of not qualifying than qualifying, but it could be like an 11th or 12th place. And like that's rich. I have it in my top 10, in my personal top 10, but I don't see it qualify because I think the second semifinal is stronger than the first semifinal. It has like very strong music. I see you saying no, Roy, but Sebastian agreed.
Yes.
But
I'm on your team.
no, but like Ireland in the second semifinal isn't getting lost, but I don't think people are gonna see enough quality in it to vote for it, and I don't think the jury is also gonna like grant many points.
Okay, so it's a sad no from Arnaud. Please tell us, James, why we're wrong and you're right. Why is Ireland going?
Right. Arnaud says quality, but do we need more quality in the final? No, we need more trash. We need trash, and this song is pure, unadulterated trash. This is the anthem of those women that you see at Manchester Airport on their way to a stag do in Ibiza. This is a song for women who give Spanish customs problems by like asking, all right, can we allow all these sex toys in this suitcase in? Like, this is the anthem for the trashy people, and Brooke, as charming as she is, just sells it. She is a very fun, charismatic young woman, and I personally think the grand final needs a trash anthem, and I think we're going to get it. It's going to be marginal, but I think she's going to squeeze through.
She is going to squeeze through. All right, there you have it. Now we have another song, a fourth non-qualifier that got 1 yes and 4 no's, and that one is Israel. Israel, according to our prediction, James. Now you had all these talks about trash songs. Now I want to say, why do you think this one isn't going through?
There's trash, and then you set it on fire. This is the trash set on fire here. There's just too much going on, and while I do like it and have a good time with it, I think it just might be a touch too messy for the trash lovers.
Oh, that's simple. Meow. So, your cat disagrees with you, and I like your cat because I am the sole person that says Israel will go through. I feel like we have the 2021 repeat. Yes, it's not the same song, but first we have a fantastic singer. It's so catchy. It is upbeat, and it is visually just like it's going to grab your attention. I just feel there is so much going for it. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why you people don't see the potential that this song has. And he's a fantastic live performer. Everything together, it just has attitude, and it's just such. It's some people like it's catchy. It has the Israeli ethnic sounds to it. I'm like. I put it lower in my predictions because of some of the negativity I'm seeing here. And now after I've done it, I should have put it higher because I wouldn't say I'm confident the running order isn't maybe the most ideal, but the song will still stand out. It will stand out, and I think people will be surprised. I'm overruled anyway, but can't win all the time. Next up on our list, also one person said yes, 4 of us don't believe it's going to happen. Our 5th non-qualifier on the list is Montenegro. And first, let's go to the nayers. James again. Tell us why no.
Now, this song, it does have sad origins, and I hope that the composition and performance of this is cathartic for her. but I don't know if this is the song that will resonate right now, or people want to resonate with. I don't think people want to connect to the sadness of losing a loved one to COVID, and lots of us have lost someone to COVID, and I just don't think it's going to connect with enough people, and I think a lot of people are looking for a diversion. They're either going to look for something downbeat and emotional that has nothing to do with the pandemic, or they're gonna want something fun. And this one, I think, will miss the mark with a lot of people.
Okay. Arnaud doesn't feel the same way because he is the one that still believes Montenegro has a shot. Tell us why.
It feels weird to be the only one believing.
I know, right?
Yeah, I haven't experienced that, but I love Montenegro. At first, when I listened to it, I was like, oh, they tried, but then I listened to it a couple times and then I loved it. It's in my personal top 10, I think. But I think this has a shot to at qualifying. I have it like borderline qualifying, but I don't know why. I have a feeling that this could be like a Tamara, North Macedonia 2018. Maybe not winning the jury in the final. Well, definitely not winning the jury, but I don't know why. This could surprise us because Montenegro hadn't sent a song like that for many years in Eurovision, and I feel like this time they really tried to make something polished, emotional, that is well constructed, and it has like an empowering message, I think, at the end, which switched things up a little bit. So I think this is how it could qualify, and this is why I put it in the qualifiers tier to me.
Yeah. So Montenegro supporters, there is still hope. It's not completely, Arnaud believes in it, so you should too. Then we're still not done. You can see there's a lot of discrepancy here. Another song that got one vote, but it wasn't enough. And our sixth non-qualifier, Georgia. So Georgia will not go through, and I'm one of the individuals that said no. I haven't done a proper ranking for this semi, but I would think it would be my personal top 10 here. Just because I like this you like out of the box thinking, and I'm just thinking, I'm not also convinced. It's for me more of a borderline non-qualifier actually. Only because this one is really hard to judge. Just based on the studio version alone, I think it gets repetitive and it just doesn't do much, but with a fantastic stage, and this could be a moment. And I have a feeling that Georgia, not necessarily always known to do great staging, but I have hope, and I have a feeling that they know what they do. And it feels as this song was put together with staging in mind. I don't know what it is. It's just a hunch. So that is why I'm still holding out hope. But Sebastian, you still think this can make it, huh?
Yes, I do. On the 10th place from my personal ranking, I also see lots of dangerous zones with this song. It cannot work out. I believe lots of things depends on the staging. If they're gonna go through, make the most interesting ideas lay down on the stage, make it colorful, make it quirky, make it this alternative vibey lo-fi memories to the Eurovision fans, it can be surprise as long as we do it. Because as you said before, this song can be a little bit boring when you are waiting for this pretty much more charismatic chorus, which give the song some power, and maybe on the end some of the people like me gonna shout Circus, Mircus. Oh.
So once again, fans of the Georgian song, hold on hope, because Sebastian is also thinking this could be a qualifier. That means only two songs on our list where we all say I don't think it's going to happen. First one on the list, of course, North Macedonia. Arnaud, what are your thoughts?
Well, this song is like, I don't remember which song it was, but Roy said it perfectly. It's like a song that is just there, and it's not good. Well, it's not like, oh, I love this, or oh, I hate it. It's just, yeah, like you can listen to it, but you don't feel anything. You don't feel joy. You don't feel sadness. You don't feel, I don't know. I have a hard time connecting to it, even though I gave it a couple listens, but I feel like people watching Eurovision and not being like non-Euro fans, I don't feel like they are gonna connect with it, so they won't vote for it. And I don't see the jury praising the song as much as you would need to qualify.
Fair
That's-
enough. No,
yeah.
that is fair. James, your thoughts?
I agree with Arno on this one. Yeah, she by deliberate design in the song called Circles, the song literally keeps going in circles. There's repeating patterns. It doesn't escalate. It doesn't go down. It just starts and then just goes round and round and round. Just that deliberate repeating pattern. And I think a lot of songs that don't have a resolution tend to get punished because humans are narrative junkies. We want something to happen. We want persons in a rut to get out of them. We want people breaking up to move on, etc. So I think a lot of people won't connect with that. Connect with a song that way, and it's a pity because she is a very interesting performer, and I hope she at least gets sent in another year with something that does have a resolution to it.
Okay, so a no from all of us for North Macedonia. And the other entry that got a no from all of us is Malta. And Roy, obviously one of the 5 of us who said no, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is just a kind of song that's like trying to be inspirational, trying to be delivering a message, but just kind of that being the entire concept of it. Like, it's not very creatively done. It's very in your face, like, oh yeah, this is how you should feel. And I feel like that is just a bit too simple for people. And the same with how the melody of the song is, and the same with how she sings. It's just a bit too simple overall for me to say it stands out enough to go to the grand final.
Okay, and Sebastian?
Malta love to change the songs very late. I don't know what's this tradition came out, but fact of the matter is that for me this is the change for worse. With songs which have some elements which is interesting for me either way, then change it to the songs which have no interest from me at all. Unfortunately, it's pleasant, it's gospel, it's going by the very safe ground of the Eurovision song, but still with this kind of semi-final, which for me is very strong. Malta don't have enough courage and cards to make it through to the final, and it's sad. It's a pity because this is a very good vocalist. She's a great singer. She has this charisma. She can sing, but I believe the song gave her no leverage to show what she's really can do in the real life on the stage like Eurovision.
There you have it. So those are our predictions of who will qualify and who will not. So what do you think? Of course, I know you may not agree with all of them, but hopefully at least you see where we're coming from. Now it is your turn. Leave your predictions below in the comment section so we can see what your thoughts are, and we will be back very, very, very soon. Until next time.